Look, I'm not even going to pretend that I hate this movie because I don't. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was released in March of this year, once again directed by David F. Sandberg, starring Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and Jaimon Hansu. And yeah, when this movie was coming out, around the time that it was finally time for it to release, I just didn't give a shit about this movie anymore because the trailers kind of spoiled quite a bit for it, and I just got tired of seeing the trailer in front of every fucking movie I went to go see. Um, but honestly, I surprisingly have fun with this movie. So let's go ahead and jump into this review, starting off with good. And like I said, there's just a lot that I surprisingly love about this movie. First of all, you have Zachary Levi back as Shazam. And I'm going to get into a little bit of the characterization of this character later, but I do still like the way Zachary Levi plays this character. I really hope James Gunn brings him back for a future project in his DCU. But I did really, really like Zachary Levi in this movie. He's just fun and lovable in this role, like he was in the 2019 film. And on the flip side of that, Asher Angel as Billy Batson has astonishingly less screen time in this movie than he did in the first one, but he still did a really good job as Billy Batson. Honestly, I'd say he was better than Zachary Levi in this movie. But yeah, he's got some really great moments, especially between him and his foster mother near the end of the movie. Really, really great. And you have the main villains, Hespera and Calypso, played by Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. And sure, they're a little bit generic, but I think that the actresses did a really great job, especially Helen Mirren, who just always gives every performance her all. She did a really great job, and Lucy Liu wasn't too bad either, but I just feel like Helen Mirren was just a little more interesting because it's Dame Helen Mirren, for God's sake. And then you have Jaimon Hansu back in this movie as the Wizard, and this character was supposed to be dead. After in Shazam, he was just disintegrated into dust after Billy gets his powers, but now he is back somehow, like in a somehow Palpatine returns kind of way. I don't know how he's back, but it was just really great to see him back. I think Jaimon Hansu is a very, very underrated actor. I've always liked him as an actor. I've liked him in everything that I've seen him in. And he was honestly the best part of this movie, in my opinion. He was funny. He's got some really good banter between him and Freddie Freeman, who Jack Dylan Grazer also does a pretty good job. But I just really like his whole B plot with Freddy. Like I said, he's got some really great one-liners and funny moments that I just really enjoyed throughout this movie. And the action sequences are actually not terrible. You get this really, really fun action sequence near the beginning where the Shazam family is saving a bunch of people on a collapsing bridge, and it's actually really fun to watch. Yes, most of the third act was spoiled in the trailer with the dragon and all that, but there's still some surprises to be had, like how DC Comics adapts the unicorn. There's some really humorous moments with that, and most of the humor in this movie does work for me. I don't know if it's my childish sense of humor, but I did enjoy most of the humor here. There's some really good character arcs as well, especially with Billy Batson learning to come to terms with him growing older and possibly growing out of the foster system. Really great arc there of him accepting that. And this was also spoiled in a Facebook ad. It was just really nice to see Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman, even just for a couple minutes. It's just fun scene. Shoehorned in, sure, but just fun to see her back in the role. But And the soundtrack and score is really good as well. Um, and the CGI, not terrible, but then again, the bar's a little too high with CGI in DC films after Aquaman just blew everything out of the water, no pun intended. But yeah, that's about all for the good, on to the bad, and there's still a few things I'm not a big fan of here. First is the handling of Shazam's characterization. And when I say that, I mean they made Shazam way too childish in this movie. Like, yes, he had that childlike sense of humor in the first one, but they flanderized his childishness in this movie where it's not even it's not even charming like it was in the first one. It just kind of got a little old and stale near the end. But that's not taken away from Zachary Levi's performance because he still did a really good job, like I said. And also, I didn't care much for the handling of the rest of the Shazam family. Freddie Freeman has a semi-interesting arc, and then the rest of them are just kind of there in the background. They tried to give Pedro a bit of an arc by making him gay, saying that it was hinted at in the first one. I honestly don't remember where that was hinted at. That wasn't really handled super well, in my personal opinion. And then, like I said, most of the humor worked for me, but then there was just some humor that just, okay, what the fuck are we doing here? There's a joke about Shazam crushing on Wonder Woman. Look, it didn't work in either cut of Justice League with the Flash crushing on Wonder Woman. It's not going to work here all of a sudden with Shazam crushing on Wonder Woman. It's a really old joke at this point, but that's aside from my point. But that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I still have fun with this movie. It's not perfect. It's not a masterpiece. Hell, it's not even as good as the first Shazam. But Shazam Fury of the Gods is just a fun movie for me. There's just a lot to love, in my personal opinion, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So that's my thoughts on Shazam Fury of the Gods. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it, if you have seen it, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.